Ants are found almost everywhere. For us gardeners, it's definitely useful to know what they can do in the garden, both the harm they cause and the benefits they bring. Today, we'll first take a quick look at what ants actually are. This will help us better understand which methods to choose in different situations, whether it's about driving them away from places where we don't want them or preventing them from overpopulating. And all of this, if possible, safely and without chemicals. So let's dive in. Ants are tiny but incredibly fascinating creatures that can be both helpful and painful in the garden and nature. They are highly organized, functioning like a perfectly structured city where everyone has a specific role. Most ants measure only 2 to 6 millimeters, depending on the species, from the small, almost transparent yellow pharaoh ants to the larger, black-brown common ants to the meadow of forest ants, where the worker ant is up to 9 millimeters and the queen up to 11 millimeters. Ants have a slender body with head, chest and rump, 6 legs and antennae, which they sniff for food or danger. Ants live in colonies, ant hills, where each has a role. The queen starts the colony and lays eggs. Workers handle food, nest maintenance, and larvae care, while males are only for reproduction. We commonly encounter several ant species, which behaving slightly differently. The most frequent in garden beds is the common ant, also called the black garden ant. It's small, 2 to 5 millimeters, 0.1 to 0.2 inches, brown to grey-black. It nests in soil under stones or paving. This species is known for its love of aphids, tending them and collecting their honeydew, which harms plants. So, where you see ants, you'll likely find aphids too. Interestingly, common ant colonies can contain up to 4,000 individuals. The most problematic is the pharaoh ant, a highly invasive, yellowish-brown to almost transparent ant, 2 to 3 millimeters, 1.0 inches, that loves warm places like heated buildings, greenhouses, and homes. It's dangerous because it can spread bacteria, and its colonies with multiple queens are hard to eliminate. In forests or gardens near forests, you'll encounter the wood ant. It has a black-brown abdomen and reddish-brown thorax and head. It's highly beneficial, feeding on harmful insects, especially in forests. The symbiosis between ants and aphids is a major issue. Ants farm aphids, protecting them from predators and moving them to new plants, increasing damage to crops. In return, they get sweet honeydew as food. We have a detailed video about aphids, so check it out. Ants aren't just pests. They do many useful things in the garden and nature. Think of them as maintenance workers. By digging tunnels, they aerate the soil. Wood ants are great because they eat harmful insects like caterpillars or beetle larvae, protecting fruit trees, for example. Some ants clean up the garden by breaking down plant debris, enriching the soil with nutrients. The ant life cycle has 4 stages. The egg is tiny, whitish, and hatches into larvae within a few days. Workers feed the larva. After a few weeks, it forms a cocoon. In the cocoon, the ant transforms into an adult. Development into an adult takes 6 to 8 weeks. The adult ant then performs tasks based on its role. The queen is the heart of the colony. She stays inside the nest, protected by workers, and can live 15 to 20 years. She's larger than others and lays thousands of eggs as her main task. In summer, when it's warm and food is plentiful, she may lay hundreds of eggs daily, depending on the colony's size. In winter, from November to March, most queens hibernate, pausing egg laying as the colony survives in deeper nest parts with minimal activity. New queens are born when the colony has ample food, like honeydew from aphids or organic waste in compost. A maturing queen cannot stay in a nest with another queen, so she flies out with males during swarming in summer to mate and find a place for a new nest. To drive out ants or destroy a nest, you must target the queen, as the colony dies without her. Ants in the garden show various signs and symptoms. Ant hills are visible mounds or hidden under stones in pavement cracks or directly in garden beds. Look for soil heaps or disrupted, loose soil. Another clue is entrails, long lines of ants marching for food, like to aphids or organic matter near compost. These trails, marked by chemical traces, can stretch several meters, acting like highways. A major warning is increased aphid presence on plants. Ants protect aphids, which suck sap from leaves, stems or fruits. If you see charred leaves or aphid-covered young shoots, ants are likely nearby. Ants can cause poor plant health and die back in several ways. They often dig tunnels under plant roots, which may sound beneficial for aeration, but weakens roots by losing the soil. Ants may also eat beneficial mycorrhizal fungi, which help plants absorb water and nutrition. In both cases, plants grow poorly and may gradually die. Ants can complicate sowing. Some species, like the common ant, love seeds, collecting and carry them to their nest or elsewhere. You're left with empty spots where crops should have sprouted. Ant activity varies by season. Ants wake up after winter around March 15 through May. They start foraging for food, seeking sweet residues or aphids on young plants. They strengthen colonies and dig new tunnels. Warm spring days boost their activity. The main ant season is from July 1st through August. Swarming occurs with winged queens starting new nests. They reproduce and protect aphids. Warm, humid weather increases their activity. Ants slow down and prepare for winter from September 15 to October. They gather food and reinforce nests to survive the cold. They may appear indoors, seeking warmth and food. Activity drops, but aphids on plants can still cause damage. Ants hibernate from November 15 to March with minimal outdoor activity. The exception is the pharaoh ant, active indoors in heated buildings, greenhouses or homes, even forming new nests in warm conditions, like in January. Prevention is key to keeping ants under control in the garden. Start by supporting natural predators. Ladybugs, spiders, grasshoppers or birds like robins eat ants and aphids. Attract them with feeders, birdhouses or insect hotels near garden beds. Keeping a clean environment, especially in garden beds, can prevent ants from settling and building nests. This is crucial in spring, when ants start foraging. Regularly rake soil around vegetables, like lettuce or carrots, to disrupt shallow nests and disturb ants. Caring for trees and controlling aphids is another key. Without aphids, ants often live on their own. Check out other video for tips on dealing with aphids. Mixed planting works well against ants, especially using aromatic herbs and flowers as a natural repellents in areas you want to protect. Mint, lavender, thyme, onions or garlic repel ants. Plant them around beds or use a lavender strip along a path as a natural berry. These steps keep the garden ant-free, attract pollinators and make it look and smell great. Parasitic nematodes, Steinernema feltiae, are nature ant enemies. Available at garden centers or special online shops as a powder mixed with water. They are harmless to plants and don't kill ants but drive them away, preventing nest building. They work preventively and actively from April to September, when soil temperatures are at least 8 Celsius degree or 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Sticky bands are a proven way to stop ants from reaching fruit trees, also protecting against aphids. They are mainly used on tree trunks as prevention. These are usually double-sided or have straps for attachment. Wrap them around the trunk with the sticky side out to catch ants and aphids moving up. If ants still cross, purchase bands, try a different brand or adhesive. Ant houses or buffet are traps that attract ants for bait. They need to be placed in the immediate vicinity of ant hills or directly on ant trails. They can be used not only in beds but especially indoors in greenhouses. The bait contained is very attractive to ants. The ants carry the bait into the anthill, and the other ants in the anthill, including the queen, feed on it. If this is successful, within 6 to 8 weeks, the entire anthill dies. If preventive methods aren't enough, use granules or powders. These have 3 application methods. Sprinkling. Spread a thin layer of powder. Spraying. Mix powder with water in a sprayer. Drenching. Mix powder with water in a watering can. Outdoor use only. Always choose natural or nature-based products first. Check if they are suitable for areas like vegetable beds, as many are meant for indoor use, or non-garden surfaces like paths or around the house. You can use store-bought or household items. Many options are tried by gardeners. Wood ash irritates ants' bodies and can be effective. Diatomaceous earth and nature powder damages ants' outer shells, killing them. Coffee grounds repel ants with their scent. I find this works well thanks to my kind neighbor, Draha, who regularly supplies me. I spread coffee grounds on garden beds, but they need refreshing every few weeks. If ants overpopulate, you may need to destroy the anthill. If you are hesitant, try relocating it to a spot far from the garden, like the edge of your property, where they won't cause harm. Carefully dig up the anthill with a shovel, load it into a wheelbarrow, and move it quickly. You can try containing it in a bucket during transport. Destroying an anthill is more reliable than relocating. You can do this in several ways, like breaking it up with a hoe. Ants dislike water. Thoroughly soaking the nest multiple times may make them move. Tough, it doesn't always work. Pouring hot water, 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, 140 to 176 degrees Fahrenheit, directly into the anthill is a simple way to eliminate ants completely. It kills the larvae, eggs and adults on contact. It's more effective for shallow nests, 10 to 30 centimeters, 4 to 12 inches deep. For deeper nests, it's less effective. Be cautious not to damage nearby plant roots or kill beneficial soil microorganisms. To sum up my recommendations and how I handle ants in our garden, I don't tackle ants in isolation. I manage them as a part of the garden as a whole. I aim for a natural approach, creating a garden that feels meaningful and enjoyable. I plant aromatic herbs and flowers around beds and borders to attract pollinators, which also repels ants naturally. This creates a balanced system. But that doesn't mean we don't have ants or they don't cause issues. We do, especially near fruit trees, where they bring aphids, or sometimes in garden beds. Some seasons are worse, but when they move to the lawn, I don't bother with them. I use sticky bands on young trees affected by aphids. In beds, my first step is raking the soil, then adding coffee grounds, as mentioned. This has always been enough, and we haven't faced severe infestations. I use specific products mainly indoors or around the windows, doors, or the house when ants try to invade. Hi, I'm Marketa from Handilio, and I've been gardening for over 13 years. I share my experience in every video which Petr and I carefully prepare for you. With us, you'll grow your harvest effortlessly and without chemicals. No more trial and error, give it a try. Now you know how to deal with ants, but it's also good to know how to tackle slugs effectively. You can find that video on our channel, so go check it out.